One thing I've been asked time and time again is, should you get Ichigo's stamp? Is Bankai Ichigo's stamp worth it? Now, specifically the gacha stamp, because there is technically two stamps. I don't know why the names overlap, but we're going to focus on the gacha Ichigo stamp. And moving forward, should you get the limited stamps for other units, including Toshiro, Kinpachi, whoever comes out? And we're going to break this down, and I'm going to explain it to you. So I think there's two ways to approach the game, and we're just going to answer this right away. Number one, get less characters, but make sure all of them are strong. Or number two, get all the characters, but all of them will be weaker and less fun. What do I mean by this? Let's go into training, which I gotta say, free practice is such a goated mode. And let's just kind of use Ichigo's enhanced skill. This is gonna kind of explain and paint the picture of what exactly I'm trying to say and what exactly limited stamps do. So when we do the enhanced normal, you see there's 3 Ichigos. Now, one combo there did 31,000. Okay, we see 31,000. Now we could reset. Let's make sure it's like pretty consistent. So if we do it again, let's only do the dash. So in total, once again, it's at about 20k, right? Let's reset, make sure it's about 20k again. So there we go, right? It's about 20k, right? So let's leave and let's take off the stamp just to give you guys an idea and also show what changes, because you see that in there was 3, actually 3. We'll put it on just a strike, I guess. There was 3 after images, right? Now, if we go with a 4-star one, which you could pretty easily get, right? Let's see just how exactly this looks and everything. So we're only going to do like the main thingy, right? The main actual enhanced portion. So we did about 9k there, right? Only 9k. So not only obviously does it affect your stats, but there's also the portion that, well, if we do it, there's only 1 Ichigo. So you see that not only does it make your damage better, because there are actually a lot of stats involved, but it does change the gameplay. Now maybe like, how does it change the gameplay? Well, you could see we go from literally 1 Ichigo to 3 Ichigos. So let's go in this and, you know, just pay attention to it back to back, and there you go, there's 3. So also, besides just the fact that there's more damage, you put the enemies in a vortex. And of course, when you have Kisuke on the team, this is very good because Kisuke also has a vortex, and this will allow for all the hits to hit, right? And not only that, it's going to increase your combo hit, right? So you see the hits on the left. Well, some modes actually require you to have high combo counts. So having 2 extra after images, considering that's one of his main moves and one that you're able to swap in with, is quite important. Now, of course, besides just the fact that every single stamp changes gameplay and it like adds an extra step of gameplay, you can see here extra crit rate and, well, obviously the weapon stat boost. I think these are 25% and the SSRs are 50. So I would definitely say my approach to it, if I was free to play, I'm not, if I was free to play, would be get less characters, but get every character's limited stamp. Now, what this would look like is about 1 character a month. Now, people who say there's not much currency, oh, there's not much currency. Well, I think that mainly comes from just the fact that you guys are not that far into the game yet. I made a video, you're able to get 200 pulls month 1, okay? That's 200 limited pulls. 30,000 Jades month 1. So because of that, you should be set up to where even when we don't have that launch currency, you should be able to get 1 unit plus their stamp if you hard pity. 1 unit plus their stamp a month means 1 every 2 units that come out if you get unlucky. So, you know, keep in mind, if you get lucky, even better. So because of that, I think 1 out of 2 units as a free to play is something I would say is pretty good. It's actually pretty good. And that's if you get unlucky. So even better. And of course, pity transfers, but I would say approaching it from a standpoint that get less characters but have more that you get from them is probably better, right? Of course, you would have to plan accordingly, see which units you want to skip. If you don't like certain units, don't pull for them, right? Now, we're going to also talk about the stamps for standard in a bit, which ones are the best to get, so keep that in mind. But I would definitely say Ichigo's stamp is worth it. You want their stamps. You do want the stamps. It gives the stats, and it changes the gameplay, right? So I think it is extremely worth it. And it's definitely more worth it than the dupes. So, damn, it looks so sexy seeing 3 dupes. The A1 is very good. it makes it that you could trigger more skills because every crit lowers the cooldown for your skill. But this only really comes into effect when you have the Ichigos. Why is that? Well, first of all, this increases crit rate base, but it also makes that you have extra after images. What does that mean? Extra after images guarantees more hits. More hits means more chances to crit. So you pretty much want to get the weapon. And this is how they've set it up to where you have the character, only 80 pity, 50-50, no more, right? No 50-50. But they also added there is the weapon. But they've done a trade-off to where the weapon only costs 40 pulls for pity. So this is how they've set up the system to where to build out a unit is 120 pulls, which is honestly really low, right? It is pretty low. Games like Wuthering Waves, which is another game I play a lot, well, I mean, it could be up to 240, which is double this. And there's also worse packs. So, you know, no, actually, Wuwa has some pretty good ones. Actually, no, I take that one back. But yes, definitely, Ichigo wants his weapon first. And I think that's going to be the case with most units. Now, going on to the standard, since I basically answered it, I would say you could approach it in two ways. One, get less units, but make sure all of them are built out. Or two, get more units, but have them be less fun. So it depends what you're looking for in your account. I can't answer that portion for you, but what I can say is the weapons are extremely worth it if you're looking to invest in a unit, okay? For Ichigo specifically, you get the weapon first, and then you get A1, and then you're done. If you don't need to go for more. You only go for more if you're like a big spender and you want the icons and like the cosmetics, but I don't think you're gonna need more than A1. So there you go. Now, for the character stamps, which ones should you get? You could get 2.5 guaranteed, and if you get lucky, you could probably get even more, okay? So I've got these 4. Now I'm getting Kisuke's. What I would say, personally, my thoughts on this, the 2 best ones to get are going to be Yoruichi's and Kaname's. Those are the first 2 that I think you should get. Kaname's is an insane 2400% follow-up, which makes it seem kind of necessary for him. Why am I saying that? Well, 2400%, keep in mind how high that is first of all really good because it's a fixed number where early on if you get Kaname's, you're going to be looking good because 2400% is what Ichigo's Bankai Alt Nuke is doing a bit less than what Ichigo's Bankai Alt is doing at level 8. But this is far into the game. So if you get Kaname's early, right? Well, the good thing is his is fixed. So early on, there's technically more value because, well, it doesn't get higher, but early on, 2400% is extremely high. So yeah, first of all, 2400% is ridiculously high, so I would definitely say that is something I do recommend people getting. The Kaname one is very good, and then also the Yoruichi one. Now, why? Well, because DPS-wise, very nice. I would definitely say having the extra counterattack. Remember, they do add gameplay. For Kaname, it's that follow-up. For Yoruichi, it's the counterattack attack, where you could like press the button manually without needing to counter to activate it. So that's good. I think you want to focus on the DPSs more, and then afterwards you go for the supports. That's my thoughts. And because long term you're going to be able to guarantee all of these, I think starting with DPS, which are the units you're trying to build the most, especially because one of my last videos I talked about the crafting mechanic. Go check that out. We talked about how you could get the 5-star gold pieces early from this, right? And because of that, having your DPSs, which you're already investing into, get those extra stamps is going to be extremely valuable for you guys long term. So my thought is Kaname because he kind of functions as a DPS, and then Yoruichi. Afterwards, I think Ikkaku's, if you want it, is very good. Okay, very, very good. Obviously, the extra stats are going to help him a lot. And then, you know, Bankai extra 100% damage, get the SP max, so very good. From that point on, I think Kisuke and Byakuya's lag behind a little bit. This one's not bad, you get extra stacks, so a bit more of a damage boost. Byakuya's is going to give extra damage, but I definitely think long term, you know, we're going to get more tactic units, all that good stuff. Tactic units are probably going to be very easy to replace, but it's not bad. It's just that I think the other ones are better. And then Sajin's is last. Now, Sajin's is very good for Strike, right? I just think Sajin is a bit weaker, but with this, I think you could definitely like make the argument that it's good, right? It's just, I think the Strike team is a bit on the weaker end right now. That doesn't mean it will be in the future. I just think with the current teams we have, you could go for this one at the end and you would be fine, right? But Strike resistance for 10% is pretty nice, not insane, right? But it's good. It's definitely good. I just think that for me personally, maybe I'm a bit biased against Sajin. That could be. He's probably the worst SSR, so you could always go for him last. But I think the order I gave is pretty much my full thoughts on what I actually think you should get. And, you know, I think Kaname's is kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with that. And just to explain, like, the ratio analysis It's going to give the attack boost. I like how they explained it here. It's just, they should probably, sorry, I keep on pressing that because before, like, there wasn't guild, so now that the icon's there, it messes me up. But they should probably show it here, right? Because like I could click on it, sorry, wrong one. I could click on it, it won't show me it. Like I have to own it, so kind of annoying, but is what it is. It's not a huge deal anyway. But that is the order I would give for character stamps. They are very important. So I think long term, I would say free to play should get less like units, but have them be higher quality, right? Have them have actual gameplay mechanics, right? It, you know, you could definitely make the argument that it does suck that they hid gameplay parts of their kit behind the stamps, especially for limiteds. But in total, you're doing only 120 pulls per unit. And you're going to be getting probably 100 to 120 pulls a month. So considering that 1 every 2 units guaranteed is fine. I think it's fine. And if you want to skip 2, suddenly you're getting the next 2, right? If you just don't care about a unit, that's good for you in a way, because then you can get the next one guaranteed. So there you go. That's going to be my full thoughts on the stamps. They change a lot. They are definitely worth it. And if you care about your units being strong and you want to have the most fun with them, definitely get the stamps.